Hi everyone, Nick Kredikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk.
So we're going to start off with a dollar store 14-inch ring. So you can pick these up for $1, and we're going to make our own base today. So, if you don't want to be spending $6 or $7 or even more for a pre-made work form, this is a very easy technique. So on a dollar store frame, there's 6 individual sections right here, as you can see with the little cross pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to place 3 pipe cleaners in each of the section. And I'm using white today. You can also pick up your pipe cleaners from a dollar store. But all we're going to do is take 1 pipe cleaner and place it in each of the 6 sections on the inside. So do take note that I did wrap it around 2 of the wires. I do find that to be really important because when you wrap it around 2 of the wires, it does, apply a little pressure and a little tension, and it keeps your pipe cleaners exactly where you want them. So definitely 2 wires. Don't just secure them around 1 or else they'll just slide around. And we're going to place 2 more in each of the sections on the outside. So that just creates a really nice full wreath. And this is a technique that we've been doing for years and years. And a thing I can encourage you guys to do is take your pipe cleaners and make sure they match your products. And if you're not using white, I encourage you to use white if you're using just basic colors. If you have a color that you can match your pipe cleaner to, obviously that's the best choice. But if you don't have a pipe cleaner that matches, I always suggest white because you don't really notice it. Now what we're going to do is start working in our mesh. So the nice thing about this project is that you can put up all of your leftover rolls that you've used in other designs to use because it's not going to take too much. So we have some inexpensive pink, we have some blue with a little bit of shimmer, and we also have some fuchsia. So I just used my rotary cutter and my self-healing mat to cut 9 pieces of the pink. And then we'll do 9 pieces of the blue, and then we can come back in with the fuchsia as an accent. So all we're going to do is what is known as the ruffle technique. Just take it in your hand and kind of curl it up until it kind of looks like a bow tie. Doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back in and place a piece on every other twist tie. So we're going to skip count. That way we have some room for our blue. And I think it'll look really nice having, multiple colors like this. I think it's going to look really pretty. So just continue working in your mesh. And the nice thing about mesh is that it comes in so many different colors. So if you don't like pink and blue, you can be using yellow and red. You can be using whatever, spring and summer color combo you would like. I think this is a great transition between both seasons, the pink and the blue. So I think this could be left up the entire duration of spring and summer, and then you can switch to a fall design and then Christmas. So now it's time to switch over to the blue. We'll do the same exact process, just gather it up and see that this blue one's a slightly more premium. It has a little bit of shimmer through the tinsel. So it's, always a good idea to kind of mix up basic mesh and slightly more premium mesh because you just get kind of a better effect that way. And it looks a little bit more fancy. So we'll just continue working in the blue. And if you wanted to, actually add in more colors, you could add in as many colors or as few colors as you would like. So if you wanted to do, a rainbow-themed wreath with multiple colors, you absolutely can. If you wanted to kind of just, do one color, you can do that as well. Possibilities are endless. So, these tutorials are just here to influence you and get you thinking outside the box. And then when it comes to actually designing it, it's totally up to you. Make it your own, add your own little touch to it. Because that's really what makes you happy when you add your own, color scheme, make it match your home, your front door. So we'll just take our mesh, do the same thing again, and add our final piece of mesh. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in with one final type of mesh, just for a little bit more texture and a little bit more of a pop of color. And then we can start working in our ribbons and our flowers. So now we're going to work in this beautiful kind of lilac lavender color mesh. And this also has the tinsel ties. This is actually a more premium mesh. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to curl them up like paper towel tubes and place a piece in. So I did open up the twist. And whenever I add mesh on the surface of other mesh, I always like to open it up. I think it gives better dimension and it doesn't look as, 2D as it does. So just open up those twists, place your piece in. I'm placing this piece on top of the pink. And then this will be it. Then we can switch over to our ribbons. And we have some pretty ribbons that we're going to work in today. So here's the 3 ribbons that we're going to cut 14 inches in length. All 3 of them, we have a gingham, we have a solid 2.5-inch fuchsia, and a solid 1.5-inch lavender. So I've cut each piece 14 inches, and I did dovetail them just by taking my scissors and cutting at an angle. And I cut, like I said, 6. So since there's 18 twists, we're going to have 1 in every second. Or every third, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take one piece here, and then skip count 2, That way we have room for the other 2 ribbons, and then place our next piece of this 2.5 inch. So we're going to just 1, 2, place one here, and repeat that process throughout the entire wreath. And that way it gives us kind of a different look. So we're using 3 separate ribbons for today's project. Now before we proceed with more of that fuchsia, let's just work in our other 2 colors. So we're going to work in our purple 1.5 inch. Place a piece here. And I'm opening up these twists. Here's the blue. I think this blue will look really nice since we have the blue mesh on the wreath. Open up the twist, place your piece of ribbon in. Bring it towards the outside. Always have your ribbon tails facing around the perimeter. So now let's work in our final blue. And then we have 1 layer of each that we have extra, that if we find a twist that needs it, we can just place in that, according color. But after this, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to snip off all of the twist ties. So here we have some white hydrangeas, and I thought that would be a nice way of breaking up all of the colors we've already added. So all we're going to do is just pop off those heads and place them kind of at random. We don't need to place them in every twist, but, I think this is going to be a nice touch. I always love working in flowers with my mesh. I think it really takes your mesh to the next level. So all we're going to do is just hot glue these in place. So all we're going to do is take the ends of our flowers and dip them in our glue skillet. So you may have noticed this is a new glue skillet. We worked with the same glue skillet here on Hometalk for about 3.5, 4 years now. And it finally broke down when we filmed the last Hometalk tutorial. So here's the new glue skillet. But it's just a great tool. I actually prefer using a glue skillet as opposed to a glue gun because it makes life so much easier. All you have to do is just pull back your flowers, dip the stem inside, and work them where you see fit. Very easy. Okay, and there's the finished wreath. Let's hang this up and give you guys one final look as to how it turned out. Okay, and here's how our leftover hydrangea and mesh wreath turned out. So I love the fact that we put leftovers to use today. We have some leftover mesh. We used 3 different types, some leftover ribbon, and some dollar store flowers. We used hydrangeas. We used a dollar store frame and dollar store pipe cleaners. So if you wanted to make this a one-stop shop dollar store project, you absolutely can. But I also love the fact that this wreath can transition to any season and any holiday. So if you switch out the colors, if you switch out the flowers, the ribbons, you can totally customize this to your home, your aesthetic, and whatever color palette you would like. This is Nick Kretikos of Nick's Seasonal Decor, and you're watching me on Hometalk.